He is one of the CFL's best. Even his average night is better than most. Calgary quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell rarely loses. He has never lost in Winnipeg. A streak that continued last July when the Bombers brought Matt Nichols in off the bench in the second half. He didn't win, but he produced enough to take over as their #1 quarterback, and he has never looked back. Well, tonight, the Blue Bombers open up at home in a meeting of two teams that have yet to lose in 2017 as fans gather at Investors Group Field to see if the Bombers can finally beat the Stampeders in Winnipeg, something they haven't done since 2009. It is Friday Night Football tonight as Week 3 continues. Glad you could be part of it. In Winnipeg, the Bombers, the Stampeders. Here in studio, Rod Smith, Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. So it's been a long time since Winnipeg has beaten Calgary. In Winnipeg, we're going back almost 8 years to the day, and since then it has been dominated, this overall series, by the Stampeders. 16 of 17 Calgary has won. But Milt, Winnipeg's a better team. They want to show they can take that next step. Is there a better opportunity tonight to prove that they can?
They have to make it happen tonight. I know this is just the second game of the year for them, but they have to make it happen. Everything is in place for them. They stacked their team. They got the quarterback they want. They upgraded their defensive line. They upgraded their receiving core. Calgary defensive line is suffering. This was the last time they beat Calgary. I had hair back then. They have to make it happen tonight. This is their coming out party, Matt. This has to be their game.
Stephen LaForce. Yes. That's beautiful. Hey, that's a long time ago, Milt. That's what I have in my notes. They have to. The sooner the better. That is the next step for this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team. I think they have all the pieces in place, Chris, against the Calgary football team that's coming in ripe with 7 different roster changes. I think that this is a perfect storm for Winnipeg to get over that mental block, because that's all it is. Because I think this football team, to a man, is as good as the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, if they're going to be a contender in the West, this is the team you got to beat. But Investors Group Field has been a nightmare for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over the last 4 years. 1-8, 3-6, 3-6, and 4-5. They continue to play unbelievably unproductive football right in their home field. They're better on the offensive line. They're better on the defensive line. Matt Nichols has to outperform Bo Levi Mitchell tonight if the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to make a run at a Western title.
And you mentioned Bo Levi Mitchell. We talk about all the injuries the Calgary Stampeders have gone through, but Bo Levi Mitchell is still on the field. And that's the problem for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah, because he's on point.
Yeah.
And he brings everybody up to his speed. And he talks about we're a Week 3 offense right now. And I can tell you that that's not sitting well with him, because he wants to be hitting on all cylinders. And more than likely, they're going to go out there and show out well, because they play well.
Remember the last time these two teams met? Bo and the Stamps down. 20 seconds to go at their own 35. A couple of plays later, they're in field goal range. They win it by 1, ripping the Bombers' hearts out. I'm sure these guys, those who were there, do remember trying to make it right. Week 2 is coming up. Gerald Wazilishin of Lacombe, Alberta. You could win a $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if the kickoffs return for a touchdown in this game, thanks to Safeway Sobeys' $1 million touchdown to win promotion. And if it should happen a second time, well, Gerald, you could be in store for $1 million. Good luck with that. Is tonight the night for the Bombers? Let's go to Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
Thank you, Rod. Home opener for the Bombers on a super summer night in the Manitoba capital. Game of the week matchup between Calgary and Winnipeg from Investors Group Field.
In game 1 of the year for Winnipeg, Weston Dressler spoiled the party in Regina. It was the grand opening of Mosaic, and Dressler stole the show with 2 touchdowns. On the other sideline for Calgary, DeMaris Daniels is back in the receiving court after missing last week. In his absence, Canadian Lamar Durant from SFU has stepped it up, and after 2 weeks is the Stamps' leading receiver.
Dave Dickinson likes the Stampeders' 1-0-1 record more than his team's level of play in those back-to-back games against Ottawa, looking for an improved performance here tonight. While on the other sideline, Mike O'Shea's Bombers open the season with a Canada Day win in Saskatchewan. Now he's looking for his team's first ever win at Investors Group Field against the Calgary Stampeders. There's a newcomer. Brian Walker has dropped deep. Bombers won the toss. They want the football and are looking for a better start than they had last Saturday. It's the 200th all-time meeting between these two Western rivals, and we're underway. And it will be Ryan Langford from the 15-yard line. And they'll reverse it. And here is Walker trying to get the edge. And Adeleke able to pull him down. Well, they want a fast start, and they reach into the bag of tricks to start things off.
Matt Nichols last week got off to that slow start, as you mentioned, Chris, but he got it started and got back in a rhythm after that first quarter. Did not generate a first down in the first quarter of last week's game, but threw for 4 touchdowns, a career high, and beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders in overtime.
So the Bombers start from their 36-yard line. The handoff straight ahead, and Andrew Harris plows for about 3 to 4 yards before he's taken down by the middle linebacker, Alex Singleton.
13 carries for Andrew Harris, running the ball last week versus Saskatchewan. There's Weston Dressler, who had 6 catches, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns against his old team, the Riders. And in the offensive line, take a look at Travis Bond, CFL All-Star at left guard. Interesting to see how Jamarcus Hardrick and Stanley Bryant handle the changes on the D-line for the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, Dave Dickinson talked about how ravaged his lines have been, and particularly the defensive line. And Kashawn Fraser, the former Bomber, just another one of the defensive ends that hurt. Their top 3 defensive ends, Charleston Hughes, Cordero Law, already out.
Jagarrett Davis.
And Jagarrett Davis. Frank Beltre went to the NFL in the offseason, another defensive end, so they're getting very deep. Just signed Aston Whiteside, who will make his debut.
Take a look and see what happens. Right there off the edge. Number 94, you see, he just gets cut, and that right knee buckles underneath him.
That was a big concern coming in for Calgary.
Well, no question. I mean, now you're looking at Aston Whiteside, who we're going to see a lot of anyway, because James Vaughters is young and Dave Dickinson likes him on special teams, doesn't want to take away from the special teams. Vaughters will roll in fact, is listed as a starter tonight on the D-line. Whiteside's been there for 3 days. So now they're going to have to help him make sure he understands his assignments, and Kashawn Fraser was supposed to start at the opposite end. Dave's already going to have to juggle.
You consider the 3 defensive ends, their top 3 are out. Deron Mayo still out. Junior Turner recovering from off-season surgery, and Brandon Smith is on the 6 game. So there's 6 or 7 defensive starters that Calgary has to begin the season without. And again, it's now James Vaughters and Aston Whiteside at defensive end for the Stampeders. 2nd and 7. Nichols has time for the pocket over the middle, and there's the way to start your 100th CFL game. Clarence Denmark with a catch.
Not involved much last week in game 1 for Winnipeg. Just 1 catch, targeted just 3 times, but Matt Nichols gets him involved early on. Nice throw right over the middle on that dig route for a 14-yard gain. The first down of this one for Winnipeg.
Had just 1 catch, 33 yards last week. But in game 100, he has a 14-yard pickup. Quick hitter here. Darvin Adams nearly spun away, but Tommy Campbell hangs on to wrap him up at the 50-yard line of Calgary.
Well, as I mentioned, for the Calgary defensive line, Kashawn Fraser was the starter and listed as the starter. Now, he didn't, after 1 play, has gone to the sideline injured. There he is to the left of that starting lineup. There's Vaughters, who's going to start at defensive end, but we're already seeing Whiteside. Alex Singleton's going to have to keep them all in line and make sure they know their assignments. And then in the secondary, I think they're looking for a bounce-back game from that group. Tommy Campbell at corner, Ciante Evans at halfback.
2nd and 1, and a handoff to Andrew Harris for the first down to the Calgary 46. So 2 first downs already, Suits. They did not have one in the first quarter last week. In fact, just 10 yards of offense in the opening quarter of their season opener.
Yeah, first 6 drives last week, Chris, did not generate 1 point. And then in the next 8, 4 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
Had 31 points in 13 minutes, 32 seconds midway through that game. Nichols hit as he throws, looking deep for Dressler, and it falls incomplete, but there was pressure coming off the edge.
Shaq Richardson coming on a blitz, and Devon Claybrooks may have to try and do more of this and send pressure from his linebacking core and maybe even from the secondary. With his banged up defensive line, Calgary may have to get creative. Beats the blitz of Andrew Harris, got caught in disguise there just a little bit.
So 2nd and 10. Here comes pressure again, and they get home. And a big hit from the Will linebacker, Malik Harris. Dropping Nichols for a loss.
Sent to both outside linebackers. Malik Harris right here. He's going to come off the edge this side, and Shaq Richardson, you don't see him yet, but he's coming from the left side of your screen, and one is picked up. Andrew Harris takes the left side of your screen, and Richardson, but lets Malik Harris go. He can't get both of them.
So it drops the Bombers out of field goal range. Here is Tunde Adeleke with the big 71-yard punt return last week. 21 years of age, 42-yard punt, but a big sack to snuff the opening drive of the Bombers.
It's tested.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. What a night in the Peg, over 30,000 in attendance. And Bo Levi Mitchell, who has never lost here, goes to work just beyond the Calgary 20-yard line. Hand off inside to Messam. Up across the 25, looks like 4 for Jerome Messam as we set the Stampeders offense.
Get DeVaris Daniels back in the lineup, missed last week. Big start for Lamar Durant, as I mentioned off the top. Jerome Messam likes to play here as well, and against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Take a look at their offensive line. They move Spencer Wilson in at guard for Shane Bergman. Randy Richards starts at left tackle.
Messam had a 137-yard rushing game against Winnipeg last year and kept it off, and Anthony Parker drops the football incomplete. It's a 2-0 to start for the Stamps.
Nice defensive inside stun early on by Ian Wild to cause some problems here on this play. And it looked like someone got their hand on it at the line of scrimmage as it's tipped in behind the intended target.
So Rob Maber to punt. Kevin Fogg out for the Bombers, so Ryan Langford handles the punt returns from the 35. And he gets met before the 45, spun off first contact, but brought down. 49-yard punt for Maber. Well, Matt Nichols, 4 touchdown passes last week, looking for his first ever win against the Stampeders.
Take a look at the big performance and 4 touchdown throws for Matt Nichols against the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week. Again, the first 8 possessions, no points, and then he found his rhythm. A couple of busts in the secondary for the Riders, and Dressler, the veteran, takes advantage of it. Matt Nichols finds him and even gets a newcomer involved, Damian Washington.
9th 300-yard game of Nichols' career. Wide side throw, it is complete. And Julian Fioli-Gadino has a catch.
Boy, he wants to get his first win against the Calgary Stampeders. He's put up some very good numbers, 60%, almost 1,700 yards, and the touchdown interception ratio outstanding, and yet can't get that first win.
Yeah, those numbers don't look like 0-6, do they? 0-2 as the quarterback of record for Winnipeg against Calgary. 4 for Fiole Godino. 2nd and 6, more pressure, stands in. Darvin Adams the catch near midfield. Where do they mark it? And it's going to be close. Looks like it's enough for a Winnipeg first down.
Precise route running from Darvin Adams to know exactly where the marker was. Little bit of exchange motion there with Weston Dressler, then back to the out for the first down.
Little pump there, drops it off underneath for Harris, crashing down to the 50. Mike O'Shea really liked the physical play of Andrew Harris last week in Saskatchewan.
Going tempo offense, trying to get that rhythm started earlier than they did last week.
2nd and 5. Denmark stays in the block. Out is Harris, and he's open. First down. Andrew Harris is dropped around the 36-yard line.
Andrew Harris, one of the best backs in the league at catching the football out of the backfield. This looks like just a little check down throw, but it's a hard catch. He has to turn back the opposite way, catch it, anticipating a hit. Paul LaPolice, offensive coordinator's got Andrew Harris involved in drive 2.
6 catches last week, and a guy who drew sometimes too much attention from that Saskatchewan defense. He puts defenses in a bind. First down, better protection. Adams the catch in front of Campbell. That's a good matchup here in the opening quarter.
I really thought last week when Matt Nichols got into that rhythm, he got Darvin Adams involved. His first catch sort of opened things up, and the field started to just expand for the Winnipeg offense. That's when Dressler got on track, and he started putting touchdowns on the board. But it was a throw early to Darvin Adams that got Dressler going, and Matt Nichols into his rhythm.
Doesn't look like any first quarter rush this way. Dressler on the sweep, and he'll get dragged down out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So it's 8 more on first down. Ball popped out at the end, and the officials conferring, but they are signaling it's 2nd down Winnipeg.
And take a look, there's the ball out. Now, a Calgary Stampeder, either Ciante Evans or Bell would have had to touch it again. The punching of the ball there does not constitute a change of possession.
2nd and a couple off the right side. Harris follows the blocking.
I talked to Matt Nichols
first down
yesterday, Chris, about when they get in the red zone. This is an area, even though they won last week in overtime, even though they did get going offensively in the second half, he said they want to be better down there. 1 for 3 last week. They're about 50% as a team last year. He said, you know, and he even said, listen, we have the best kicker in the league. That's his opinion. But they do have a tremendous kicker in Justin Medlock, and a field goal is not a bad thing, but they want to be better down there. We'll see if they can get it going early here.
3rd and inches. They've got Dan Lefevre and the short yardage crew in. Did not have a 3rd down gamble in the game last week. And Lefevre off the left side should have it as he followed big Travis Bond. All CFL left guard.
Oh, yeah. 6'7", 360. I'm Dan Lefevre. I just might, that'll be the office on short yardage.
So the drive continues, coming up to the 9th play.
There's the big man.
Number 50 on our top 50. First down, Nichols looks end zone, and it's intercepted. Josh Bell on the overthrow, and he's just going to step out. Didn't have a pick last year, but gets one here in week 3 to stop a promising Bomber drive. Intended target was LaDamian Washington, but an interception for Josh Bell.
Do that.
You know, we've seen this before where quarterbacks hit the crossbar. I think it looked like Matt Nichols was trying to clear that crossbar in the goalpost and try and drop it into Washington on this dig route. As he releases this, he's got to just try and put it in there in that small window, and if he goes directly to Washington, he hits that crossbar. Maybe giving him an alibi a little bit for an overthrow, but it looked like he was trying to avoid it.
So the Stamps take over, and it's swung out to the far side of the field. There's Markway McDaniel run out of bounds at the Calgary pitch.
Here we go. Offensively, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers got that turnover thing going that they were doing last year with 59 takeaways to lead the CFL. There's your defensive line, and Mo Leggett, big part of that takeaway defense last year. Interception by Sam Hurl in game 1, and by TJ Heath, who got on the interception board early.
13 for McDaniel. First down up at the 37.
Whoa.
Big to mess him, and they'll throw it away with the heat on up front from Corey Johnson.
That was a stumble. That was just a straight stumble, I think, by Bo Levi Mitchell. He, after that play action, he kind of lost his footing, it looked like. Let's take a look here. Quick play action, and look at the stumble, and then realize that he better get rid of this one. The heads-up play by, and composure by Bo Levi Mitchell.
Second and 10. As time over the middle, and this one is intercepted. There are flags down. Mo Leggett has the football. Will this interception stand as he is tossed down by Jerome Messam?
Markway McDaniel immediately got up and signaled as if there would be a flag on him.
Before the interception, illegal contact, Winnipeg number 31. This is a 10-yard penalty, results in a first down.
And there's 31, Mo Leggett on Markway McDaniel. Doesn't let go to the shoulder. McDaniel goes down, and he ends up making a nice catch, but no question, illegal contact right there. It turns into basically PI if you throw the ball to him.
Well, Calgary first down at the Stampeder 48.
No argument from the Winnipeg linebacker.
Co-leader last year in interceptions with 7. First and 10, 3 receivers near side. It's dropped off over the middle, and a lot of running room for Terry Williams. He's loose and finally hauled down at the 25-yard line. A guy that's been compared a little to Roy Finch with a big pickup of 37 yards.
You know, with the offensive line banged up, there's ways to coach around it. One way you can do that is quick release. Quick release your backs, get them out of the backfield, and get the ball out of your quarterback's hands as quickly as possible. That's exactly what Dickinson is trying to do, to let that O-line that has had to be rebuilt a little on the left side to just settle in.
74 points in the first 2 games for Calgary, only 6 in the first quarter. Starting to knock at the door here from the 25. Wide side of the field, and a catch for Kamar Jordan.
You take a look back the last 8 years, the Calgary Stampeders have dominated Winnipeg. 16 of their last 17 games. The only loss was that November 1st game in 14, and at that time, Calgary Stampeders had locked up the playoffs. They did play Bo Levi Mitchell in that game, but not the entire game, and there were backups in there. And that's the only win for Winnipeg in the last 17.
Sam swept last year. Mitchell passed for over 300 in each of the 3 wins. Second down handoff, and a huge hole for Messam. Mo Leggett finally meets him around the 11-yard line, but the chains are moving.
Boy, you have to have some courage to beat Mo Leggett at 203 pounds and step into Jerome Messam with a head of steam like that. That's 2 great football players just smacking heads there, and I shouldn't be saying that, but player safety is such a prominent issue right now, but smacking pads there, shoulder pad to shoulder pad.
Running
good
back
football.
with a 50-pound advantage in that collision. Here's Mitchell, shot in the end zone for McDaniel, and that is caught by Randall, but he's out of bounds. Veteran Chris Randall, the former Stampeder, though, in perfect position against Markway McDaniel.
Well, let's see, did he get his foot in bounds with control of the ball? Only need one. He's got control. I don't know, it looked like that right one might have been down, unless he was juggling the ball that we didn't see.
center screen to mess him, and he drops it, and the field goal unit will have to come on.
Michael O'Shea did not look to try and challenge that play in the back of the end zone to see if that was an interception by Chris Randall. I thought he may have got the 1 foot inbounds. I'll take one more look at it, because if he did, he could have challenged that. If he wins this challenge, he's got his hands on the ball, foot down. May have taken this 3 off the board.
Tony Paredes puts the 17-yarder through, and the Stampeders score first. A couple minutes left in this opening quarter.
Trader.ca.
While the two quarterbacks, close friends, and were radio stars this week. With more, here's Sarah Orleski.
Well, Chris, they are close friends. They both are Eastern Washington alumni, and Bo Levi Mitchell, who has a weekly radio show in Calgary, had Matt Nichols on this week to talk life, reminisce about their college days, and of course talk about this matchup. He gave Matt a hard time because Matt had said earlier in the week to Winnipeg media that he was hoping that Bo would throw 5 interceptions in this game. Now, Matt said afterwards, obviously that was tongue-in-cheek. These two players are very close friends. They want nothing but the best for each other, but of course they want each other's teams to lose. And when afterwards Matt Nichols said that in Eastern Washington, he's sure a lot of people are hoping for a 60-60 tie in this game, but they both said absolutely not. They want nothing to do with ties, which anyone that has watched these two teams know these franchises have had enough of them lately.
Yes, but I think we're expecting some points tonight. Paredes with the boot. Ryan Langford from his 8. Up around the 30-yard line, and he'll get tossed back at the 28.
Well, you remember last year when in September these two teams played in Calgary, and at halftime, Bo Levi Mitchell said to our sideline reporter there that they were putting Calgary in that place where we were showing them what they're all about, and they were up by 24 at the time. Now, Matt Nichols brought them all the way back to take the lead with 20 seconds to go. Calgary ends up winning, but it was the beginning of, I think, the belief system in Winnipeg. Belief meaning that they believe in their starter, no matter where they are in a game, that Matt Nichols can bring them back.
First down, 3-man rush, lots of time. Dump down to Harris. Waters, the newcomer at defensive end, the tackle, but Andrew Harris has 9.
You know, I think this is, you're going tempo again here. Matt Nichols, 10 of his 13 wins have been come from behind wins. You build your belief system quickly there. Here's a flea flicker.
Toss back, flea flicker, deep, and it's going to be too deep. Intended for Fioli Gadino. So 2nd and 1, and another gadget play, and now the short yardage team will come on.
Yeah, didn't fool Tommy Campbell. Watch Fioli Gadino try and sell it here. He's just going to go, no, I'm just blocking. No, yeah, I'm gone. Campbell wasn't fooled. He stuck with him, stride for stride.
Second, 3rd down for the Bombers. The first wasn't as long as this yard, and he didn't get as good a surge off the left side. I'm not sure. And Alex Singleton thinks that the Stampeders have come up with a stop. No signal, but a pretty good spot. That is going to require a measurement.
Good surge and low leverage here from the Calgary defensive line. Looked like Malik Harris. Did he shoot the gap over top of that pile and make first contact? Here's a nice grind and look at it.
They got a good spot. Marked it at the 39, which could be enough. Let's see. No, it's not.
Nope.
Even with a decent spot, it's short. And it's a turnover and downs, back-to-back turnovers for the Bombers.
Back-to-back big plays. You go back to last week for Calgary. Malik Harris made a nice scoop and score in that game. And watch 37 here. He is going to step in, up over the top, hit Dan Lefebvre right in the shoulder pads and turn his momentum back. Big play.
So the team that was plus 29 last year, giveaway, takeaway, -2 here tonight. Messam off the right side. Good collision as he plows to the 36 and has 3. Dave Dickinson really wants to get the ground game going. It hasn't been as good as he'd like in the opening couple of weeks.
He's got the leading rusher in the league last year. First in touchdowns, first in big 20-yard runs, first in 100-yard games. When you got that guy in your backfield, might as well use him.
Messam with games of 51 and 65 yards rushing against Ottawa. Here's McDaniel, can't bring it down. A high throw for Mitchell, and it's going to be 3rd down. Final play, opening quarter. Only 11% of the points so far this season have been scored in the opening quarter, and that follows suit here tonight. Not much scoring here in the opening frame. And the Bombers trail by 3. Back at Investors Group Field, a 3-0 Calgary lead and ready to kick a field goal. There are the numbers. The Bombers did some good things, except they had 2 turnovers.
Yeah, and in one in the red zone, that interception by Matt Nichols. But the good news for Bomber fans, this time last week, they did not have 1 first down and just 10 yards of offense in the first quarter. They've improved on that. They have put some yards on the board. They've moved the ball a little bit. But, boy, I talked to Matt Nichols yesterday, Chris, about throwing interceptions. And, of course, every quarterback hates to do it. But he said he despises throwing interceptions in the red zone. He said it'll keep me up forever all season when it happens. And whether he was trying to miss that crossbar or Washington pulled up a little bit, I'm not sure, but he's got one. Yeah.
Took points off the board. Calgary got 3 off the first turnover, looking for 3 more off the second, which was a turnover on downs. And Paredes has missed it. And Langford's coming out.
That's something.
Gets outside. Trying to cut back against Paredes. Ball came loose. And Calgary, well, who got it? Calgary had a shot at it. And it looks like they have the football. Big Langford return. And up with it is Andrew Buckley.
I think that thing bounced around after it was pulled out of there, and Buckley had just kind of landed in his lap. Buckley knocks it out. It bounces around, kicked around here, bounded up in the air, and right back to Buckley, who in back-to-back games now has made big plays in different ways. 60-yard, short yardage touchdown last week versus Ottawa. Wow.
Haven't played 16 minutes. 3rd turnover of the game. Mitchell under duress. Dumps it off, and there's a catch by Messam. A flag comes down, and Messam still going. And finally wrapped up. How about defensive tackle Corey Johnson going a long way to make the tackle? Let's find out what the flag's all about.
It's either illegal contact on Marquay
Illegal
McDaniel.
contact, Winnipeg number 4. This penalty will be declined. It's a first down.
I was going to say it's either that or an illegal block by McDaniel. And it's going against the Bombers.
Penalty against Rock Carmichael.
To the right of your screen. Pressure forces Mitchell to dump it out there, and then there's Carmichael right there. He had committed illegal contact before he came into that picture.
25-yard gain. Now a fake to Messam inside Lamar Durant, and he's down to the 2.
Great conversation with Bo Levi Mitchell about Lamar Durant yesterday and how much confidence he has in the SFU grad. Targeted so far 9 times, and he's caught the majority of them and leads the Stampeders in receiving.
Now near the goal line, Messam plowing, looking for the end zone. Has he found it? No signal. It's going to be 2nd down. short yardage team with Andrew Buckley comes in. You mentioned his big play last week, the 60-yard quarterback sneak.
Doesn't need 60 here, just needs one.
8 touchdowns last year, one in the Grey Cup as well. First Canadian quarterback to score in the Grey Cup since Russ Jackson. Left side is he in. No signal. That Bomber D is stout.
Decision time. And they did some scouting on Buckley, who likes to go off tackle in short yardage. That's how he got the big run last week. He went right around the end. This time he tries to go off tackle again, and he's turned away.
Big Jake Thomas at the bottom of the pile. Corey Johnson, Greg Nellis, Faith McCackety dig in. 3rd and goal. And Harris going to throw. It's incomplete. There is a flag. And is it going to be offside? Like the Bombers may have lined up offside.
Winnipeg number 4. This results in a first down.
Rob Carmichael. A tough, right in the middle of your screen right here, is playing press, and you can't see his feet, but they're well over that goal line.
He has to be.
And he cannot be in that neutral zone.
Fresh set of downs. Buckley again. Oh, still don't think he's in. A lot of emphasis on the battle in the trenches going into this game because of the injuries on the Calgary side.
And Dave Dickinson going now with regular offense.
There's the former tight end, Big Greg Nevis, 308 pounds. Jake Thomas who had a big game last week out of Acadia.
They have another one in them. One more stop down here. Do they have it?
Calgary 0 for 4 down here. It'll be Mitchell, Messam, not sure.
No, sir.
Daniel trying to set up.
Baby. Come on.
They're 0 for 5.
They're going to talk Dave Dickinson into a field goal any second now. They do it again.
And they've tried a few different ways.
They are eating up the line of scrimmage.
Boy, Taylor Walker almost stole that football.
Reset the line of scrimmage about a yard in the backfield.
One more try. They're going to try the end around. Touchdown. Lamar Jordan gets it in on the 6th drive.
Well, it wasn't happening for Calgary tackle to tackle because Winnipeg and the interior of that D-line was owning it there. So Dave Dickinson says, why keep hitting your head against that brick wall? Take it wide and see if you can find a seam, and that's exactly what Jordan does.
And now the Stampeders go for 2. Punt formation right side, he looks the other way, and that pass is intercepted. TJ Heath gets hauled down on the horse collar tackle by Jordan. So the Stamps get 6. TJ Heath has his 2nd interception of the season. And this penalty will be tacked on to the kickoff.
Major foul, horse collar tackle. Calgary, number 88. This penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
So it took a while to punch it in, but Calgary gets it home. Kamar Jordan with the touchdown. And the Stampeders lead it by 9.
Kamar Jordan gets some help from the tailback, Jerome Messam. It's going to be Jordan coming around here but watch Messam get the key block and the kick out on the corner, Brandon Alexander. Outweighs him by about 60 pounds right here in your screen. But if Alexander creates a pile there, hits Jerome Messam low, he has a chance. He can't win it if he tries to stand up and try and take that on.
Third game of the year, Jordan already with 4 touchdowns on the season. Penalty on the kickoff, so Winnipeg should get good field position. Here is Langford looking to atone for the fumble on the missed field goal return. Brings it out to the 40-yard line. 3 straight turnovers for the Bombers. An interception, a turnover on downs, and that fumble by Langford.
6th try on the goal line. That's something you don't see very often.
So does that give the Bombers any boost, or is it deflating to stop them 5 times and yet still have them score?
Well, stop them 5 times. They did get the 6 points and are up by 9. That's reality. But they also intercepted the 2-point convert. It's almost like they gave up 6 points but have a little momentum from it.
Harris tripped up quickly by Whiteside. Let's get an injury update from the sideline. Sarah.
Chris, it was a pretty emotional sideline for the Stampeders with Kashawn Fraser coming off. He is done for the game. He no longer has ice on that right knee, but he was very emotional as he was being comforted by Corey Mace, defensive line coach, and teammates, but he is done.
11 games for Winnipeg for Fraser back in 2014 and 15. Second and long, Nichols pumped and gets it to Washington, but that's going to be short of the first down at the 45. Malik Harris, who's had a good first half for the Stamps, was on the scene defensively.
Well, the one thing that's different about this version of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, this team in particular, is we showed you briefly, and we'll show you again later in the game, the comeback ability of Matt Nichols. That this team believes in him, that wherever they get in a game, even if they're down by a couple of scores, that Matt Nichols could bring him back.
The Delacaille awaits as Medlock sails the punt to the 17. 46-yard punt, and not much of the return. Ian Wild was downfield in a hurry. Also in there was Thomas Miles on the stop. Join us at the half for the GMC Professional Grade Playbook tonight. Henry Burris on playing fast with the no huddle offense. We've seen a little tempo here tonight.
Start this drive, Bo Levi Mitchell will get him huddled up and call the play from the huddle, at least to get things started.
Last week he finished fast. 133 of his 295 yards passing were in the final 9 minutes. Thanks to Messam, going to air it out, but Jordan was in a hand fight with TJ Heath, and the flag does come out.
Well, there was contact, and TJ Heath and Kamar Jordan on that crossing
Illegal
route.
contact. Winnipeg, number 23. This is a 10-yard penalty on the first down.
Up in the line of scrimmage, and he goes inside release, then tries to get in the corner, and you can't put your arm around his waist on that cutback. Good call by the official.
Mike O'Shea talked about the penalties last week. Only 6 against Winnipeg, but 4 resulted in 20 points for Saskatchewan. That one is up for grabs and intercepted. He's got another. TJ Heath, who drew the penalty, steals the football. Second interception of the game and 3rd of the season. Boy, wild first half of turnovers. Bombers needed a big play on D, and they get it from TJ Heath. Closed captioning brought to you by PizzaHotline.ca. Try our Blue Bomber touchdown deal and get 3 medium pizzas with any 2 toppings of your choice and 6 cans of any Pepsi product.
We don't see this very often, but I'm not sure where Bo Levi Mitchell was going with that football, because TJ Heath was the only guy around.
No interceptions first 2 games for Bo, but 2 here in the first half. Andrew Harris underneath, out of the backfield, breaks a tackle. has a first down, and he helicopters down to the 30 on the hit by Ciante Evans.
Play's able to be executed properly because Matt Nichols takes an extra second. He waits for Harris to clear, and now he's got the easy throw, drops it to him. Good stiff arm there. Bounces the outside, and yeah.
Actually, Jamar Wohl with the contact that spun Harris, 14-yard gain. Nichols a little throwback, and the intended target was tackled there by Derek Wigan. And that's what Mac Nichols is trying to point out. No flags. And Nichols is hot.
So is Andrew Harris. And he's the guy who got tackled. He was the intended target.
Over there talking to head linesman Chris Shopka.
Watch Andrew Harris here. Number 33. Play action, but he's at screen man now. Turns to screen, and he just gets flat out pulled down with the ball in the air.
Mike O'Shea is going to challenge. Both coaches 1 for 2 on challenges so far this season.
Winnipeg is challenging that their number 33 was interfered with. The play will be reviewed.
It shouldn't
Bomber
take
fans
long.
already giving us their verdict.
Well, there's Andrew Harris in the backfield by himself. Now watch him try and release and just completely taken to the ground.
Upon further review, we have pass interference, Calgary, number 97. This is a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
I'm guessing that's the first pass interference call against Derek Wigan in his career.
Former Queens product.
Don't usually see the defensive tackle draw that penalty.
Defensive tackle tackles Andrew Harris.
But unfortunately for Mike O'Shea, he's got to use the challenge for what should have been an obvious call. They fake the fly sweep. Nichols looking for Adams and overthrows it. Said he missed a couple of layups in the end zone last week in Saskatchewan, just too pumped up. Missing Clarence Denmark and Weston Dressler on open shots to the end zone.
Yeah, what I've noticed here, Tommy Campbell had a bit of a rough game in his first game back last week, but he has been playing well in this one so far tonight. I mean, he's not getting fooled by these double moves. He was high over the top of Darvin Adams there and forced Matt Nichols just to throw it away.
Second and 10. Quick hitter over the middle. Fioli Gadino breaks the tackle. Touchdown. The Laval product hits Pater.
Ran through the arm tackle. Nice yak yards. Nice yards after the catch here for the Laval product. Crossing route. Chance there for Shaq Richardson to bring him down, but keeps a good strong base. Breaks that tackle. Touchdown Winnipeg.
Medlock from 32 yards out. Not for good. And now it's a 2-point game.
Little change motion you're going to see right here. Fioli Gadino coming down inside of Clarence Denmark and Washington at that wide out position. Then he gets nice angle and leverage on the crosser. Get that outside leverage. Beat the arm tackle of Shaq Richardson. As I mentioned, yards after the catch right there, it's going to be about 16 of them. And a touchdown.
Won the job late last season, started the final game, the Western semifinal, ahead of Rory Collard, now a Calgary Stampeder. Matt Nichols celebrates his
Salut à tout le monde à Montréal. All right, we got this, let's go for the W, let's go.
Get it bilingual on this sideline. Fantastic. C'est bon. 4 plays, 44 yards. And the Bombers touchdown, 7 points off the turnover by Bo Levi.
He got to the Les Maison. The house. Is that not the house?
Good. Here's Terry Williams on the return, and he is stopped up at the 20. What a great flying special team tackle by the newcomer, Brian Walker.
Crowd's in it now. I think it started at that goal line stand, and it took Calgary 6 tries to get it in the end zone. They finally did, to their credit. But I think the crowd's been buzzing since then, and now they're in it. Nice special teams tackle by Walker.
Does some returning for the Bombers and makes a big play on a Calgary return. So 2 interceptions for Mitchell here in the first half. They'll start at the 21 and hand it off to Messam, and he'll crash for 3. Tristan Opolugo and Drake Nevis take down Messam. Bo Levi Mitchell unbeaten in 18 consecutive regular season games. Last regular season loss with him at quarterback was the opener last year in BC. Second down, he's going to go deep. Parker, and Rock Carmichael recovered just in the nick of time.
Well, it was put out there with a shot. Anthony Parker had that corner route, and boy, did Rock Carmichael need to make this play. There's the receiver, there's the DB. Those are the 2 guys that are one-on-one here on this corner. He gets an outside leverage. Now he's in chase position here, and then times it up to be making contact with Anthony Parker as the ball arrives. Doesn't put his hands up. You don't have to turn as a defensive back to look back at the ball as long as you don't screen the receiver. That's good coverage.
Carmichael beaten last week for a couple of touchdowns. Langford, 35-yard line. Looks for crease, but Malik Harris will drag him down. That's a 50-yard punt for Rob Maver.
Well, Matt Nichols has lots of time to try and get some more momentum going in at half. I want to show you again why this team is believing they can come back and win. Matt Nichols, 10 out of 13 wins, has been come from behind victories. 10-plus point comebacks twice against BC, Toronto, and Saskatchewan. Think back to last week, down 14 points against the Saskatchewan Roughriders in that hostile environment, and they beat them in overtime. They believe in Matt Nichols here.
Is that little counter play to Dressler? We saw it last week. Dressler up to the 47-yard line.
And I mean, we got a lot of football to be played here, but I think the crowd is believing too. This is a huge crowd here at Investors Group Field, over 30,000. Feel the intensity and the noise level is going up, I think, by the minute here.
And you're right, it seemed to start with the goal line stand that ended up in a Calgary touchdown. But they amped it up, and momentum's been a little bit behind Winnipeg since. Give Dressler 8, 2nd and 2. And it's Harris. First down. Up to the 51. Alex Singleton, who had 15 tackles in the first 2 weeks, brings down Harris, who still hasn't broken one yet this year. Continues to chip away.
Get one more in here before the 3-minute warning.
Bunch formation right side, and now they'll fake this reverse. Nichols, Dressler, pushed up by Evans into the netting, but that's a Bomber first down at the Calgary 41. Weston Dressler closing in on 9,000 career yards. 18 on that catch after an 8-yard run. Bombers trail by 2, but threatening here late first half.
3 minutes till halftime. Coming up, the panel with their thoughts on missed opportunities for both of these teams. Derek Taylor with the details on whether there is truly home field advantage in the CFL, something the Bombers haven't had lately against Calgary, but maybe that's about to change. Let's head back to Chris and Glenn.
And the Bombers 11-25 in this beautiful stadium. Matt Nichols on first down goes over the middle. That's a catch for Christophe Normand, the fullback. And he has 6.
Good production in this first half on first down for the Bombers. That's going to help them if that continues.
Normand was 6 but did not get to La Maison.
It's really the only word I know.
2nd and 4. Blitz picked up. Nichols has to roll, and he's going to throw it away. And a late bump by Vaughters is going to draw a flag.
Major foul. Roughing the passer. Calgary, number 98. It's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Put that in the rookie mistake category.
Yeah, absolutely, because this ball was thrown away deliberately, and that's just careless. James Vaughters looks to see where the ball went and just keeps his hand and his arm up there and hits Matt Nichols right in the face. No question that that's going to be called a rookie mistake, and coaches expect rookie mistakes from young guys.
Guy with a 4.0 grade point average in high school, which got him to one of the best academic schools as a football player at Stanford, but not a smart play there. And it's first down Winnipeg. And Nichols steps up and he'll hook slide in front of Singleton, who was ready to lower the boom.
Came into this week leading the league in tackles, Alex Singleton, and yeah, he had Matt Nichols in his sights there. Wise move by Nichols.
At 15 in the first 2 weeks, Mr. Elimimian took care of business last night with 15 in Montreal.
A guy that Alex Singleton respects tremendously and watches all the time. Solomon Elimimian in Vancouver.
2nd and 9, more heat. Harris, Singleton there to toss him down at the 15. And that will bring the field goal unit on. A sure tackle by Singleton on Andrew Harris.
Yeah, a tackle that really saves 4 points possibly. I mean, you don't know if Winnipeg would finish this drive off or not. They'd still have to get in the end zone even if Andrew Harris got a first down there, but that guarantees it'll just be a 3-point attempt and another sure tackle by Alex Singleton.
We get a chance to talk to a lot of players, and I'm not sure anybody exudes a love for the game quite like Alex Singleton. So Medlock from short range out of the Dressler hold, and the Bombers take the lead. CFL on TSN continues tomorrow. We've got a doubleheader. First off, Argonauts in Ottawa to meet the Red Blacks and their former teammate Trevor Harris. We'll move a little west, and John Chick goes back to Saskatchewan. Bakari Grant faces some old Tiger Cat teammates in an interesting doubleheader. A little controversy. New stadium, and it was loud last week, but they tell us here that this is the home of the loudest fans. And
saw a few tweets from Saskatchewan fans that don't think so. I mean, they think that they have the loudest stadiums.
And we know what they think here in Winnipeg. There's Mitchell. Gets it out to Durant. Lamar Durant, who had 6 catches, 126 yards last week. Really looks like he's coming into his own, and this is 3rd year.
Well, Mitchell said to us yesterday that Durant would have had 1,000 last year if he didn't get hurt, and he's ready. He's ready to take that next step. He's doing it right now. We're witnessing another level of development from Lamar Durant, SFU product.
Got 10 and a first down. Here's Messam and Ian Wild, first contact, and Greg Nevis, who hauls him down.
Great close by Ian Wild. We're seeing some tremendous linebacker play. Alex Singleton for Calgary, Ian Ian Wild to the left of your screen down here at the bottom, and he just flies over there. Watch him drop, recognize. He doesn't pull him down, but he makes first contact and allows his teammates to get there.
Like O'Shea was saying, Wild and Sam Hurl are around every football. Second and long, and down goes Mitchell. It's Tristan Opolugo with the sack. And the first time they'll say Opa here in Winnipeg.
Opolugo gets in that sprinter stance. And when he does, watch out, because his first step is as good as I've seen. It reminds me, not quite there, but it reminds me of Cameron Wake.
Around Randy Richards in at left tackle this week. Spencer Wilson's moved inside with the injury to Shane Bergman. Langford after a 48-yard punt. Like he had something momentarily, pulled down around the 33. So, 22 seconds on the clock. Let's see how the Bombers play it.
I think some of the things that happened in that first part of this second quarter, the fumble turned into a 9-0 lead for Calgary pretty quickly. I think to take the lead in at halftime, pretty good for Winnipeg against a team that has been their kryptonite.
Catch by Harris. Grabbed it with one hand. Gets drilled down by Michael Klassen. University of Calgary product in his first year with the Stamps.
Well, they're putting the pedal to the metal here. They're using all 16.
Second and 2. Four-man rush. And Adams brings it down. Nice catch. Quickly steps out to stop the clock with a first down. And now they're a reception away from field goal range.
Yeah, but it's a good chunk. It's a 15 to 20 yards. That's a nice catch by Darvin Adams to give him a chance. He's just going to sit down. Now, Tommy Campbell can't give up a deep ball, so he's going to be off Adams.
About 15 yards away from that, and he gets dragged down before he'll get there. That's Winton McManus, who gets his first game with Calgary. Dave Dickinson said, I like what I've seen from this guy, and we're going to give him a look here tonight. McManus gets a sack.
Out of Memphis. Again, by necessity, Dave Dickinson is having to make a whole bunch of roster changes and bring in some real young guys.
Probably in at an unfamiliar spot at defensive end because they just don't have anybody else, and now Nichols elects to take a knee as the clock runs out. Well, plenty of mistakes in the first half, but lots of intrigue. And it's a 1-point Bomber lead as we head to the panel. And Rod Smith.
Absolutely sees going wrong for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers early in that game, but they have gradually emerged as a better team so far. The panel, Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. And yeah, I mean, Winnipeg left some points off the board, and they still have the lead at halftime.
They're playing pretty well right now. They're up 10-9, but they could be up so much more. You know, they left some opportunities on the field. This situation right here, they're in field goal range, but you allow a man to run scot-free at your quarterback. And right here, once again, worst case scenario, you're going to get a field goal out of it. With Justin Medlock, maybe a touchdown, but then you throw an interception in the red zone. And right here, great goal line, Sting. You've done everything right. Yeah, you leave a receiver wide open, but they make a mistake. They overthrow him. They drop the ball. That could have been 6 points off the board, but your DB lines up off sides. You can't do that. We know what Bo Levi Mitchell is capable of. You know he's going to come out in the second half and make some adjustments and score some points. They got to take advantage of those opportunities if they get him in the second half, man.
Yeah, you know, Schultz, you made a point out the top of the show that Winnipeg has not played well at home. They need to against this football team to get over this mental block that they have for playing the Stampeders. I don't think that's a problem for them. They just got to get out of the way of themselves right now. And I could go off on a lot of negative things that went happen in the first 30 minutes, but this guy right here, I would get him the ball more often in the second half. He's already got 6 catches for a little over 50 yards in the first half, and he's running with some passion. He's running like he wants to break this curse. And I absolutely love it. I like the thought process of Paul Police dumping it down to a guy that can make people miss. And you're going to see it right here. It's a great stiff arm and open field, doing what running backs should do, is break tackles and run with passion. Absolutely love it, Schultz. Get this ball out. I think Matt Nichols is on top of his game. He's settling down. They're playing better football right now, the Stampeders. Those 7 roster changes that the Stampeders have are killing them right now. They look disoriented.
Winnipeg's playing a really good football game, but for the Calgary Stampeders, for a team that is always so polished, I would classify this first half as simply awkward. It's reflective early in Jerome Messam. Now, Jerome Messam has not had a bad first half, but you're just seeing things that are awkward. You just don't see a running back stumble like that awkwardly to the ground. You don't see a quarterback and a running back step on each other's feet. And when Jerome Messam has been getting some yards, if he lowers pad level, he's going to deliver the blow to the defensive back, not necessarily accept the blow to the defensive back. If they can get that running back going into the second half, they can turn this game around because it opens up everything because of the physical element of him as a running back. So for the first half for Calgary, take a big breath. Relax. Yeah. Everything is so awkward.
Yeah, I don't think Calgary's going to I don't think Winnipeg's going to allow Calgary to take a breath. I think they smell blood in the water, and I think they're feasting off it. Even on special teams, they're flying around.
They can't allow Calgary to come out and regain that momentum. They can't
Calgary will respond.
Yes. I know close only counts in horseshoes, but that was almost a goal line stand for the ages. They were that close to
almost 6.
I know, but still.
Almost 6.
It's still 6 points.
Seriously, I know, it was. But
Rod, I told we've had that talk before, Rod. It means
had
nothing.
That talk.
Well, who knows? Maybe you were saying before, maybe the Bombers were feeding off that a little bit too, because they have turned momentum around. They do have the lead at the half.
Game of the week matchup between Calgary and Winnipeg in the Manitoba capital. They're going to try the end around. Touchdown. Jordan gets it in on the 6th try. Quick hitter over the middle. Pioli Gadino breaks the tackle. Touchdown. The Laval product hits Tater.
Furniture locations.
CFL Grade and Grey Cup champion Henry Burris with the GMC Professional Grade Playbook.
It's time to turn up the tempo.
Jet sweep. It's Daniels. First down. Touchdown. 5 plays, 78 yards.
Fans have always wondered why teams score more points when they're behind late in games. Having the ability to run more plays puts an offense at an advantage. The tempo puts a defense in a tough position to communicate many defensive calls and substitute. Offenses can simplify what looks and coverages they'll see on any defense, plus wear down that defense throughout the course of a drive and throughout the game. Trust me, defensive linemen hate no-huddle offenses. There's never any time to rest. The flip side, however, requires an offense to be efficient and execute. Lack of production could end up having your defense on the field way too much, which provides an advantage to your opponent. And this is why first down success is so important for any offense. Next time, when the Red Blacks play Toronto, we'll cover strategies used to get drives started.
Yeah, the Red Blacks, Henry's old team, takes on Toronto tomorrow. CFL on TSN, part of a doubleheader. Trevor Harrison Company and Sean Lemon, the Lemonator for the Argos, trying to get back to the way they were against the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Week 1. The Cats haven't played since that loss, and they're in Saskatchewan taking on the Riders, still looking for win number 1 and in their new digs, part 2 of the doubleheader.
I'm Derek Taylor with the details on home field advantage. Matt Nichols, Bombers starting quarterback, and the model of consistency in the CFL. Home or away, Nichols has been virtually the same. Last season, 9 touchdown passes in Winnipeg, 9 on the road. 69.9% completion in Winnipeg, 69.0% away. His accuracy, depth of target, touchdown rate, interception rate, sack rate are virtually unchanged home or away. Home teams won 57% of the time the past 10-plus seasons. But if you take this year's starting quarterbacks and consider their 2016s, their combined passer rating home and away, virtually the same. In fact, 5 QBs had a better passer rating at home, and 4 were better on the road. The extremes were Zach Collaros, 20 points better in Hamilton, and Trevor Harris, 22 points better away from Ottawa. For receivers, performances at home and on the road were very similar as well. Considering the top 25 pass catchers, Their receptions, touchdowns, the depth of their targets, catch rate, all very close. There was one big difference: drops. Those top.
Bo Levi Mitchell, apologies for cutting off DT short there. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers leading Mitchell in the Stamps by 1. We'll continue here in Friday Night Football on TSN.
Shall A.
At the half in Winnipeg, the Bombers lead the Stamps by 1. Here's Milt with the stats.
Yeah, the Bombers have played well on both sides of the ball. Matt Nichols had a pretty good first half, 81%. And Bo Levi Mitchell against his Winnipeg Blue Bomber defense. This is only the second time in his career where he's thrown 2 picks in a half. The other time was against the Bombers, too, back in 2014.
Both of those picks by TJ Heath, standing by with Sarah Orleski.
TJ, I think many people anticipated this to be a high-scoring game, and we haven't seen that through the first 2 quarters. What's been the key to containing that Calgary offense?
Really just, keying in on what they like to do, and ultimately just making plays on the ball. We got a lot of 2-and-outs, and hopefully we can keep that going.
2 interceptions for yourself so far. This secondary was known as Ball Hawks last year. How much pride do you guys take in that title and trying to carry it over to this season?
We take it for what it is. We always talking about getting turnovers and getting fumbles and all this stuff. So to actually come out, and we work on it a lot. So actually come out here and do it says a lot about our defense and the guys that's in that locker room. So
thank you, TJ.
Thank you.
Bombers spotting Calgary the first 9, but they have answered with 10 of their own and a 1-point lead. A close one here, and Winnipeg has momentum. Second half kickoff coming up. Friday Night Football on TSN. For every touchdown scored today and all season long, Safeway and Sobeys are proud to donate $250 to Special Olympics. 1-point lead Winnipeg at the half. Second half about to begin as we go back to Chris Cuthbert and Glen Sitter.
It's Friday Night Football. Yeah!
Headed to the second half at Investors Group Field, a 1-point Bomber lead. But first to the sidelines, Sarah Orleski is with Kamar Jordan.
Kamar, when you look at that first half, was that more about execution, or was it what the Bombers defense was doing to this group?
Definitely about execution. We made a lot of mistakes all over, offense, defense, special teams. I felt like we felt like we made a lot of mistakes. As long as we correct those things, I think we got a good opportunity to win this game.
So what's the key for this offense to get a little bit of momentum going early on?
We just got to start early, just complete the passes, get first downs, keep it simple. Once we get things moving, we're going to get it going and be able to finish for the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave Dickinson hasn't liked the execution in the first couple of weeks, but that might be the roughest half that they have had so far this year.
Execution is affected by injuries.
So underway, Rob Cote is back to return this kickoff. Calgary with the football first in the second half. Cote brings it back across the 30, a 21-yard return. And these are not Bo Levi Mitchell-like numbers for one half of football.
No, but I'll say this, you're looking at around 50%, 107 after a half. That's on pace for 200. He's a 300 a game guy, but last week against Ottawa, at the end of that game, I thought it wasn't a top-notch game. It wasn't a typical Bo Levi Mitchell game, and yet you look at the numbers, he was over 300, had thrown 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Now, he's got a couple in the interception column here tonight, but
last year, 309, 310, and 361 against Winnipeg. Little sidearm to Jordan, and it's read well, and at the 35, Jordan has 4.
Mitchell had to put his shoe back on after that spinning throw to Jordan.
2nd and 6, and Calgary just 2 for 9 in second down conversions in the first half.
That pressure's starting to amp up a little too from the Bomber front four.
Second and 6, 4 receivers out, wide side Durant, can't reach it. Brandon Alexander in coverage, and it's a 2-and-out to start the second half.
Not surprised that Bo Levi Mitchell was going to test the wide side of the field with Rock Carmichael out there and Brandon Alexander. That was just a quick out for a first down to Lamar Durant. The timing and the throw just a little bit off, but Dave Dickinson would look at those young guys, young to the CFL, and go ahead and try and test them.
And Langford awaits. And we've got a challenge from Dave Dickinson on the far sidelines.
Calgary is challenging that their number 88 was interfered with on the last play. We will review the play.
You got it, Calgary.
So Kamar Jordan, who was up against Chris Randall. And this is drawing the interest of Dave Dickinson.
Try one today.
Well, this is a challenge for illegal contact right here on Chris Randall. And he's inside of 5, square to the line of scrimmage when he makes contact with Kamar Jordan. As far as I understand, as long as you're inside 5 and stay square, you're allowed to jam a receiver. You can
After
almost
review,
argue.
we have illegal contact, Winnipeg number 8. This is a 10-yard penalty, results in a first down.
The only legal contact that I could possibly see in there from Randall is that he grabbed the chest plate, the chest shoulder pads of Kamar Jordan, but that ball was out going to the wide field, and Randall jammed him inside of 5 yards. I'd have let that go if I'm an official.
Which
they did. They did allow it. I don't know why that was overturned. That was a jam square to the line of scrimmage inside of 5 yards.
Well, a reprieve here for the Stamps, who want to start the second half on a better note. Swing it out to Terry Williams, and kind of tripped up on his own, reaching the line of scrimmage and maybe getting one.
But you're right. I mean, that was the Calgary Stampeders off the field. They don't get that challenge. They do somehow get it, and now have a new set of downs, but into second and long again.
They weren't overconfident about winning the challenge either. Obviously, Dave Dickinson thought he had a case, but they left the punt team on. And
Enough said.
Second and long. Mitchell throwing underneath. He has Jordan open, and Jordan gets away. Kamar Jordan down the sidelines, and Ian Wild has to bump him out. Well, Jordan with his second catch and his biggest play, and it's 45 yards down the sidelines.
Make matters worse for the Bombers right now. Ian Wild's gone down on a knee, and he might have to, well, he'll have to come out if the training staff goes out there for 3 plays. Here's the out and the timing. Good ball and good throw and catch. Now just poor angles there to the wide side again. Bo Levi Mitchell's going to test that wide side, and Rock Carmichael and Brandon Alexander. And then a nice block by DeVaris Daniels. 45-yard gain for Kamar Jordan. Watch the block. This is where Ian Wild gets hurt. His arm gets folded underneath him there. Holding that wrist and hand area.
Be a big loss, an important guy in that Winnipeg defense. Go to an extra defensive back here. Calgary goes into the red zone. A fake to Messam. A shot to the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Jordan. TJ Heath in the vicinity.
Well, they're testing that side. The Bombers may have to try and roll Taylor Loeffler out to give that wide side a little bit more help.
Sixth play of the drive. Kyle Knox actually is in for Ian Wild. Sixth play of the drive. 2nd and 10. Here comes pressure. Mitchell got it away underneath. Caught by Tavares Daniels, and he has dropped at the 12. His first catch. He'll be short of the first down. And Rene Paredes and the field goal unit come on.
Yeah, that's into the short side. So now they're up against TJ Heath, who already has 2 interceptions in this game, and Taylor Loeffler inside out on the tackle. And as Heath holds him up, all-star safety comes and cleans him up.
So Paredes, 1 for 2 on the night. Another from inside 20. His only field goals this year have come inside the 20. And he kicks that one through, so Calgary regains the lead. First possession, second half. Guy at the center of that Calgary defense. 6 tackles for Alex Singleton tonight with more. Here's Sarah Oleski.
Well, Chris, expectations were high for Singleton when he was drafted in the first round in 2016. He's exceeded them for so many people, but defensive coordinator Devon Claybrook says that he hasn't exceeded his. The bar was set very high for him. Now, communications is so key with Singleton's position as he directs traffic, even more so now with all the injuries on that defensive line. He said he never really had to worry about it before because of all the veterans there. Claybrook said, though, that if that defensive line isn't lined up properly, it will be Singleton that hears about it from him more so than the guys on the line.
Had him lined up properly there for a sack on Matt Nichols.
Yes, he did, and he took Andrew Harris out of the backfield. The fans thought that there was a little extra push at the end of this, and there should have been an illegal or roughing the passer right there. And Micah Johnson just quickly hands up. No, I'm innocent.
That was 2nd and long. That ball tip doesn't reach the intended target, Washington. And that's a 2 and out for the Calgary defense to start the second half.
Yeah, as Sarah mentioned, Alex Singleton now in the middle of that defense is going to have to talk to these young guys. And even in the case of Aston Whiteside, a guy that he's got to go up and make sure he understands exactly where he needs to be every single play.
Funny because he's a 23-year-old second-year guy, and all of a sudden with all these injuries, he's an important veteran back there. Headlock boots it away. It's Bill Burnett to return with the injury to Adeleke. Flags come down as Burnett had a decent return up to the 49. But a good start second half defensively. The heartbeat of that defense, Alex Singleton. Closed captioning is brought to you by PizzaHotline.ca. Try our Blue Bomber touchdown deal and get 3 medium pizzas with any 2 toppings of your choice and 6 cans of any Pepsi product. Penalty against the Stamps on the return brings it back to the 28. Ian Wild still on the sidelines for the Bombers. Jesse Griggs is now in defensively in his spot. Mitchell the pass over the middle and a diving catch and a good one by Kamar Jordan. First down up at the 41 and a 13-yard gain.
Kamar Jordan's playing to the wide side of the field, comes on this dig route and just sits down in the hole. Good read in the zone defense for Kamar Jordan. What a catch. Both arms underneath it.
Fourth catch, 68 yards for Jordan, who has a rushing touchdown on the night. Pitch to Messam. He is up to the 49-yard line and has 8.
Talking to Dave Dickinson yesterday, guys like Kamar Jordan and Lamar Durant are going to be leaned on more in the offense when teams do what Ottawa did last week to Marquay McDaniel. Marquay McDaniel got manned up, and they played zone behind it. So 11 players on defense were basically playing zone, and one was playing man on Marquay McDaniel.
10th touch of the game for Messam. It's a first down up near midfield and it's about 61 yards.
Sort of like a box and one, where obviously you've got pass rushers, but you're dropping into zone and you void a zone because that man is going to lock up and play one-on-one. Now when Dave Dickinson sees that and teams played McDaniel that way, that opens up zones for Kamar Jordan, Tavares Daniel. That's how much of an influence sometimes Marquay McDaniel can be, even if he's not catching the ball.
Back-to-back runs for Messam, and now to the air, and Anthony Parker has the catch down into Bomber territory. First grab for Parker, and it's a first down for the Stampeders at the 38-yard line.
Anthony Parker is working in tandem to the wide field here with Lamar Durant, and two Canadians that in training camp competing for the same spot. Lamar Durant sort of took over when Parker had to sit out due to injury, but Dave Dickinson confident in both of them.
Again, no Ian Wild at the moment in that Bomber defense. Take to Messam. Here comes pressure, a flag comes down, and Mitchell threw it away. And in the area of holding against Calgary.
Calgary number 53.
And we heard Brad Erdos' name, the right guard. 53.
Holding Calgary number 53. This penalty is declined. Second down.
I was surprised that they declined that penalty. They'll take the loss down, but 10 yards might have got them out of field goal range.
Yeah, and it's good point. Decision,
especially with the struggling kicker.
And Kamar Jordan hot as a receiver right now.
Maybe a sign of respect, though, to the guy at the controls. Don't want to give Bo Levi Mitchell too many chances.
Procedure, Calgary, number 59. The 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Left tackle Randy Richards, again one of the newcomers because of injury. Well, that pushes him back 5. And now second and 15. The self-proclaimed loudest fan's going to work. Stepping up, Mitchell got it away, and Breskinson couldn't pull it in with contact just around the corner.
Yeah, it looked like Sam Hurl stepped up and put the hit on him. Interception in game 1 for Winnipeg, which was last week. They had to bye in week 1. Again, Mitchell feeling a little pressure. Sam Hurl to the left of your screen, just dropping under in this zone. And then he's coming across, and actually it was Taylor Loeffler coming up from the safety spot.
Well, they are going to punt the football. There was a little bit of a delay on the Calgary sidelines. They will not try a 50-yard field goal. Beretta's longest so far this year, only 20. Rob Maber, expert on the coffin corner, is going to bounce that one down. It will go out of bounds around the 13-yard line. No points, but they play the field position and back up the Bombers. Here again is Sarah.
Well, Chris, Matt Nichols is a student of the game when it comes to football. He says he's an absolute football junkie. Give him any bad bowl game, NFL, CFL, it doesn't matter. Well, he also likes to watch a lot of film, and during the offseason, he watched roughly half of the games of the Eskimos, Red Blacks, and Stampeders offenses, wanting to see whether or not he could glean anything from what they've done that they would be able to use with the Bombers offense. In particular, he said he paid attention to what they were doing on 2nd and long, which was an area that they struggled with last season.
Guy that I think is only just now starting to get his due as a top flight Canadian Football League quarterback.
Well, he's more than a manager. Way more than managing games.
And off to Harris, and a cutback for Andrew Harris, and a good run on first down. Up around the 25-yard line.
Talked to him a little bit about that film study yesterday, and Nichols said he also examined every single one of his interceptions from last year, and there weren't a lot of them. He looked at 8 of them. He said 2 of them were bad decisions. He broke them down so that he wouldn't make the same mistake again. Matt Nichols is a student of the game, top to bottom.
10 for Harris, a first down and an interception. What a catch, Malik Harris. Touchdown. Pick 6.
Nice. He examined, and now this is another one he's going to have to look at. And this is a play made by the linebacker, Malik Harris. Sometimes it's a bad decision. Sometimes it's a defensive play. And he's going to drop back right in the middle of your screen. Looks like he's coming. That's how he fools Matt Nichols. He looks like he's going to come on the blitz, sneaks up to the line of scrimmage, then just shoots back underneath that zone and takes that football.
Boy, he's had a game, hasn't he? Malik Harris, the will linebacker. 4th turnover of the game for the Bombers. And now Paredes looking for the extra point and splits the upright.
Hey, run to the bros. Hey, shout out my mom, shout out my grandma, my sister, my niece, and my nephew. Shout out South Alabama. We putting y'all on the map, baby. You see, we putting y'all on the map.
Young guy from Southern Alabama celebrating.
Back-to-back good games already for him. Watch him sneak up into the line like this and then shoot out underneath Weston Dressler. It looks like he's hugging the line of scrimmage, almost like he's got to go and cover Andrew Harris. Then he sneaks underneath that throw and fools Matt Nichols. Makes a nice move in the open field to get into the end zone. A 27-yard return, but what a great read by 3-7. Up into the line, hide, and then jump out of there. Textbook. And even the best in the game get fooled on plays like that. That was well executed by Malik Harris.
Second touchdown of the year. Had one last week on a 46-yard fumble return. And here 27 yards to the end zone for a Calgary defensive touchdown. They had an offensive, defensive, and special teams touchdown last week in the win against Ottawa. Now offense and defense have turned the trick again here in Winnipeg. Langford sidesteps the first contact but can't get loose just across the 25. Well, you've mentioned how interceptions burn any quarterback, but there's a couple tonight, one in one end zone and one that ends up in his end zone that really would have Nichols upset with himself.
Yeah, and now's the challenge for him is to fight through that, let him go, forget about him, and get back in and execute, because you got to try and get this crowd back engaged again and get this offense down the field again.
Dressler in motion. Harris off the right side and got tripped up there by Micah Johnson.
But how about this defense that has just been patched together, hanging in there, intercept and taking the football. Singleton's keeping it all together. Malik Harris making the big plays, and Micah Johnson's really the only veteran playmaker up front in their D-line.
Duct tape D.
The duct tape D, I like it. They're playing well.
Bombers 8 for 14 second down conversions. There's another as Dressler has the catch. Looks like enough for a first down.
This time Dressler doesn't run the slant inside to those two linebackers. He runs a quick out.
Osagi Odiasi in for Ciante Evans. And defensive halfback as Nichols takes off and got away from Singleton up to the 44 for 5 yards. You know, they have changed the script from last year. They lost all 3 games, and in some ways the games were relatively over by halftime. Strangely enough, the 27-7 Calgary lead was the one where they came back and took the lead in the final minute before Paredes kicked a 52-yarder to walk off with a Calgary win. Had the lead in the first half here, but have given up 10 points in this second half. Andrew Harris, the screen, and a leap into Calgary territory to the State 50.
He outflanks the Calgary defense. Is it Micah Johnson from defensive tackle that has to track him down? Alex Singleton went on a blitz, so They catch the Calgary defense in the perfect call to get the middle linebacker out of there.
Flag down, Harris gets mowed down after a yard.
Andrew Harris said yesterday he's tired of losing to Calgary. Giving it everything he's got. He can sign his portrait.
Yep. Procedure. Winnipeg had no end. The penalties declined. It's second down.
Just wanted to update the changes on the Calgary defense. I mentioned Osagi Odiasi. He is in at Ciante Evans' spot. Evans has bumped to the corner and replaces Joe Burnett.
Played there last year, Evans.
So 2nd and 9. 5 receivers out. And there is Ciante Evans making a play against Darvin Adams.
Yeah, just read the mail there. I mean, basically ran the route for Adams, and the trash talking continues in there. Adams getting a little frustrated. Hasn't seen the ball, I don't think, in this second half. And watch him try to run the corner. Ciante Evans holds that inside position hard and then breaks on the ball when he reads that Darvin Adams is reaching for it.
Now Burnett drops back along with Lamar Durant. A lot of moving pieces on the Calgary sidelines with the injuries. And Durant from the corner plays out at the 6 and steps out just beyond the 10-yard line. A 44-yard punt into the corner for Medlock. You give up a point there? Or was that in danger of going out around the 1?
Yeah, I think the rule of thumb is you're standing on the 10 and the kick is over your head, let it go. If you're on the 10 and it's to you or in front of you, field it and then try and get what you can.
Late stages, 3rd quarter. Around Anthony Parker got to the edge and then got taken down by Chris Randall. Got 4, but Randall prevented more damage.
Game 1 led the team in tackles. Has the respect of his former teammates in Calgary. And does he close quickly here? That's a super slow-mo and it feels fast.
Six receivers out over the middle. Jordan has got the catch and should have the first down. So catch number 5 for Kamar Jordan. Off to a hot start.
And Chris, I'm noticing some of the defenders for Winnipeg now starting to put their hands on their hips.
They are.
That's really the first sign that you're getting tired of fatigue. They've been out there now for a few drives in this 3rd quarter and starting to look a little bit worse for wear.
Warm night. First down. Mitchell throws. He's got Tavares Daniels loose and gets away. Finally brought down by TJ Heath just across the 45-yard line.
First sign is hands on the hip. Second sign is missed tackles. Because when you get fatigued on defense, you start to lose your technique a little bit and you start to miss tackles. That's Chris Randall, who, as I mentioned in game 1, led the team in tackles. He doesn't miss in the open field, did there.
Second catch of the game for the Rookie of the Year. Daniels back after a shoulder injury. Stamp trying to take control of the game. And here's Terry Williams, that scat back finding room. And Williams all the way to the Bomber 40-yard line. Jesse Briggs the tackle. Hey, listen, Calgary's got plenty of injuries, but it doesn't look like the same defense without Ian Wild.
No, you're absolutely right. He's like Alex Singleton for Calgary. He is the heart and soul in the middle there, just flies around and gets things started and finishes them usually. And there seems to be just a fatigue factor, maybe that lack of leadership in the middle, and Bomber defense reeling.
Chris Randall takes a knee. And rookie Brian Walker will have to come on in his spot.
Nice play calling too to start with that fly sweep to start this series, kind of widen the defense, get them thinking about widening and keeping the edge solid, and then attacking through the middle, the little dump pass over the middle to Kamar Jordan. Nice looking play call. Let's see what happened to Chris Randall. Engaged there. It's like with Lamar Durant.
Hard to tell, but they got a newcomer on that corner now. So 3 rookies in the secondary for the Bombers. Take the mess them wide open. Marquay McDaniel. And McDaniel to the 21-yard line.
Boy, this is quick game. This is Bo Levi Mitchell is holding the ball about 2 seconds maximum.
18 for McDaniel. Final play, third quarter. Big quarter for the Stamps. They've taken the lead, threatening to take control through 45 minutes. It's the Stampeders on top. Stamps lost the time of possession in the first 2 weeks. They had the football for almost 10 minutes in that third quarter.
Well, just 100 yards passing for Bo Levi Mitchell in the first half, and in that third quarter now he's climbing up and close to 300 yards. I love the play calling from Dave Dickinson. He's had to rework part of his offensive line, yet he's got a game plan here that gets the ball out of Bo Levi Mitchell's hands very quickly, whether it's those fly sweeps or the quick dumps over the middle. Marquay McDaniel through that slot area. I mean, this is a great game plan for what they're dealing with.
Teams that win championships like Calgary or get to the championship game always seem to find a way and don't beat themselves. Tough first half for Dave Dickinson's crew, but what a terrific third quarter on both sides of the ball to have the lead here. And threatening to increase it. 1st and 10 just outside the 20. Mitchell, Jordan, touchdown, just like that. And Kamar Jordan has his second major of the night.
And 5th of the season. This offense doesn't really pick favorites. I mean, they've got some weapons, and they got DeVaris Daniels back, but it depends on what they see defensively. That one on Rock Carmichael again, who's had a tough first 2 games in the CFL. Sometimes it's Marquay McDaniel. Week 1 it was. Week 2, Ottawa changes things up. Cover Mark McDaniel. And now it's Jordan having a big game.
And Paredes puts another convert through. 6 plays, 94 yards. An impressive touchdown drive for the Stampeders. The lead 26-10.
I tell you, man,
Well, let's take a look at the route run here by Kamar Jordan, and watch how he's going to stem this in just a little bit and then hit it right down the hash mark. And what Rock Carmichael's got to do better here is getting his back pedal. He's got to back pedal and give him a little bit of cushion, because if you try and sit there at about 10, 15 yards on a guy with the speed of Kamar Jordan, goodbye.
Stamps celebrate, and the Bombers, who thought they might exercise some ghosts here tonight, following a very familiar storyline against their Western rivals. Here's Langford getting outside up to the 35-yard line, where he's pulled down, and now a critical drive early in the fourth quarter for Matt Nichols.
Yeah, I talked about in the first half that belief system that's been built around Matt Nichols, that the team believes that he can bring them back no matter what the circumstance. Well, that theory is going to be tested right now. And it starts with this drive. He can't waste too much time, and He's got to move the football. The clock is as much an enemy as anything now.
Bombers have been outscored 17-0 here in the second half. Three-man front Calgary. Nichols through the reads, underneath it goes. Normand has his second catch, but not much as three Stamps rally to the football, and Normand limited to 3. He goes to the sidelines. Fioli Gadino checks in. Second and 7. Harris stays in the backfield. Quick hit. Adams drops it. Would have been a first down. Third 2 and out for the Bombers.
Adams been pretty much locked down by Tommy Campbell. And this time he finally shakes him and gets open, actually moves inside to get away from Campbell, and then just can't hang on to it. Took a peek.
See that in the super slow-mo, that head just looking around before he secured the football. Medlock kicks it, and here is Burnett. 45-yard punt. Cover team gets the job done, bringing Burnett down at the 34, but they haven't been able to contain Kamar Jordan. 2 touchdowns in the game, 1 rushing, and this on a perfect pass for Mitchell.
Go back and show you another angle of that touchdown to Kamar Jordan and the power of play action. This is Jerome Messam on a play action. Watch how he freezes the pass rush for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There's the play action fake to Messam. Now, all those Bomber defenders frozen there at the line of scrimmage, not trying to continue upfield and put their hands in the face of Mitchell. That's why he could throw that touchdown throw to Jordan.
Messam a first down run. Stopped for maybe a yard or 2.
You know, just 8 carries for, that's the 9th carry for Jerome Messam in this game. 34 yards now, so it's not like he's had a monster game, but play action is still so valuable when you have a back like Jerome Messam. It freezes that D-line, gives Mitchell an extra second.
His quarterback had a monster third quarter, 11 of 14, 178 and a touchdown. Second down, Parker brings it down close to the first down stick against TJ Heath. Well, they're going to be short. It'll be about 1.5 yards short. And Dave Dickinson has a decision. And after a long survey, he's not going to go 3rd and 1.
Well, I think he wanted to take a good long look at how far he needed, and when he saw it was over 1 yard, that was pretty much it.
In fairness, it's 3rd and 1.5 yards, and almost 3rd and 2.
I think Dickinson wanted to try and convince the official that the spot wasn't correct, and then once he saw where the ball was put, he said, "Okay, we'll punt it."
So it is Neighbor. High kick, Langford settles under it at the 23. And contained again at the 27-yard line. Just under 12 minutes to go. Bombers have a lot of work to do.
Hungry.
CFL on TSN is brought to you by the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro. Not sure we've had real strange stuff tonight, but a full moon overhead. And a big deficit for the Bombers to try and cut into. Underneath, Fioli Gadino, who has the touchdown, breaks 1 tackle up to the 39 and has a first down.
Odiasi in at halfback there for Calgary. Playing beside Tommy Campbell into the short side. Matt Nichols may want to go and test that matchup. But either Darvin Adams or maybe Weston Dressler into the boundary. They're going to put both into the boundary on this play.
Nichols going to take a shot. Wants LaDavian Washington. Can't bring it in. Had it momentarily, but popped loose under contact from Shaq Richardson.
Boy, it's great effort, but Shaq Richardson does not give up. Washington in between those two receivers to the field. Runs that corner route. Richardson sticks with it and then pulls his arm down just as the ball's arriving to get it out of there.
So 2nd and 10. Two backs stay in. Dressler releases, has the catch, but it'll be stopped short of the first down. Jamar Wall steps up. Looks like Dressler's going to get 8.
I think you're 3-down football if you're Winnipeg now.
Might be even 3rd and 3.
Well, they're going to go one more time with the punt team. Michael O'Shea thought long about it. In fact, he waved the punt team off a couple of times there. They were on their way on the field when they saw Dressler go down, and he just waved them off, held them back for a second, thought about it.
Not going to attempt it on 3rd and 2.5. Medlock. It's a Bomber bounce. Joe Burnett. No yards penalty after the 44-yard punt. Five-yard penalty. Let's head to the sidelines here, Sarah.
Well, Chris, the Bombers do a lot of work in the community, and they have a new initiative this year where they have teamed up with Northern First Nations communities to give between 45 and 50 youth and their chaperones really a VIP experience at each Bombers home game. They charter a flight for them to come in, give them the whole VIP experience when they get here to the stadium. They stay in a hotel and then meet players after the game. It's all part of the Northern Manitoba Community's Suicide Prevention and Stay in School initiatives, but it will be happening at every Bombers home game throughout this regular season.
That's great stuff. Part of a big crowd of over 30,000 on hand for the home opener tonight.
Standing to see a lot of those young kids in the crowd.
2nd and short, and there's another first down run for Messam. Bo Levi Mitchell's gone over 300 yards for the 21st time in his career with this big second half.
I just love the adjustments that Dave Dickinson did at halftime, working with Bo Levi Mitchell to change up the game plan, go to a real quick game. I mean, he's been making these reads pre-snap. Once he gets it, set up his hands immediately. 1, 2, 3, come.
Yep, they're in a rhythm.
It really is. It's against a zone defense for Winnipeg. Again, that look a little fatigued, but take nothing away. I mean, this was an adjustment made to get Mitchell into this groove that he's in. Just quick releases. It takes pressure off the O-line. Remember, they had to move Spencer Wilson inside for Shane Burton and playing Randy Richards' first start at tackle. So take some pressure off those big guys by making it not about the pass rush. If you get it out of there quickly, pass rush can't get home.
Daniels the last catch. Now Messam straight ahead. And after first contact was stopped, he still surges for about 4. Clock ticking away here, and second guessing. Well, whether you go for it on 3rd and 2.5 is amplified.
I think Michael O'Shea obviously has confidence, or did, in his defense to get the 2 and out. They haven't, and it's just killing the clock now. This is where he starts to think back and say, well, if we're going to kill this much time, we should have gone for it.
Sent pressure this time. The pass is high, intended for Jordan. Bo Levi Mitchell's first start in the CFL was in 2013 against Winnipeg. We asked him yesterday what he remembered, and he said a lot of completions. He faced a Richie Hall zone defense in that game and went 29 of 33. And the career was off and running.
Tristan Opalugo is down on the field, injured.
So Opalugo had some difficulty. We will step aside midway through the fourth quarter. A 16-point Stamp lead.
Gonna build a mountain.
For Mike Young players to be behind the scenes action, it's CFL Wired.
I'm gonna catch a fade on him before this game is over for a touchdown.
Hey, give me some. Jay, I like this group, man. Let's go.
Catch CFL Wired Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, across the TSN network. Wednesday. That looked like a stinger.
Yeah.
At the end of all that, he looked like he collided with a teammate. Line drive into the corner, and Langford able to save it to get some yards, and it's 11 better than it could have been. Up to the 16.
Well, 3-down football now for Matt Nichols.
And 16 points, 2 touchdowns, and a pair of 2-point converts away. So potentially still a 2-score game. But this defense that we have documented that has been ravaged by injury has been tough to solve. Dressler makes a juggling catch to give them better field position and trying to ignite the drive. 5th catch for Dressler.
Yeah, this is not a shot at the Sagi Odiasi, but this is where, I think if I'm Matt Nichols, I just stay there. Stay on that side, short side of the field, keep working it. And you can see Odiasi now looking to Tommy Campbell, trying to talk like, how deep do I need to be? He's trying to get lined up right. Another of the juggling act that's had to go on for the Calgary Stampeders.
Hand off Harris straight ahead. He'll have the first down. Alex Singleton the tackle. He's doing some math on Weston Dressler, who is 19 yards away from hitting 9,000 yards in his career. We need a couple of big plays from Dressler. Nichols hit as he delivered the football. Safety blitz, and Josh Bell shakes up Nichols with a heavy hit.
You get a full run, and Josh Bell times it up nicely. The problem protection-wise for Winnipeg is that Alex Singleton goes in the hole too. Look at Singleton here, and there's Bell. Now Bell's coming on the blitz. He's trying to time it, but they're trying to count Singleton, and that's why Andrew Harris comes to that side, and he leaves the safety wide open on that blitz.
2nd and 10. Draw play, Harris weaving to the 45, but well short. 3rd and 9.
I'm gonna leave him out there now. Have to leave him out there now. That call's surprising me.
Well, they had a couple 3rd and 1s in the first half, went 1 for 2. They need 9 here. They need to get to the Bomber 54. Trying to stay in the game. Nichols underneath, Dressler the catch. Dressler the first down into Stampeder territory. Down around the Calgary 46-yard line. 19, and I think that gets him right to 9,000 on the odometer.
Well, and a big play, a new set of downs.
Which is the only thing Dressler cares about at the moment. Darvin Adams deep. Tommy Campbell slipped on the play. The pass too long for Adams, and a little bump along the way.
I'm sure the Bomber coaching staff is looking at their tablets.
And Adams a little bit on the limp and he's going to head to the sideline.
Down at the bottom of your screen.
Right here. They break the huddle quickly, so we'll get right to it. Quick hitter, and Langford, who came in for Adams, has the catch on the slant, and it's a first down.
Adams back in now. Because he went off on, yeah, when he went off on his own, he was...
No, Langford's going to stay in. First down, Nichols looked one way, nothing there, so Harris underneath, and he's brought down by a pair of Stampeders. Tommy Campbell in the area, and so is rookie Jameer Thurman. Stampeders making them chip away. Second and 9, and Denmark punished. Huge hit there by Shaq Richardson.
Calgary wanted to go with the Josh Bell safety blitz again, but Bell got caught in a quick snap count and was way off, so it gave Matt Nichols lots of time, but when he goes to that short one, Shaq Richardson right there to lower the boom. Wow, big hit.
11th play of the drive that included a conversion on 3rd and 9, and it's 3rd and 10 here to stay on the field. Nichols pulls it down and delivers it too high on the run for Washington. Not close, and it's a turnover on downs. Calgary football when we come back.
I hate everything.
Well, this summer, winter's coming. Join your favorite Hicks for an all-new season of ice fishing, snowmobiling, and bar fights. Maybe even a few beer snakes. Letterkenny now streaming only on Crave TV. Start your 1-month trial at craveTV.ca.
There's 2 snakes trying to join there. They're trying to make this is quite the project that need an engineer in there.
5th turnover of the game for the Bombers. And now Mitchell and the Stampeders just out there to take some time off the clock. Here's Messam. Run off the left side for a couple.
Let's show you that incompletion again on 3rd down. And here's Washington. I thought Matt Nichols wanted Washington to go up after he scrambled. The rule of thumb is any intermediate or short routes go deep. Any deep routes come back to the ball. There's Washington with his hands up, and Nichols steps up in the pocket and then misses him deep, well overthrowing him. And then on the way to the sideline, Nichols was saying, when you put your hand up, I thought you meant I'm going to go deep down the middle with your hand up.
Here's Mitchell, and a great catch. Marquay McDaniel pulls it down at the 51.
Well, I was going to say, Chris, the dominance continues here. I mean, with all the adversity and obstacles that the Calgary Stampeders had to deal with and handle coming into this game, the home opener for Winnipeg, coming off their win in Saskatchewan.
Momentum with the Bombers at the half, but it didn't transfer over. Here's Messam. It just a Bomber territory to the Winnipeg 52.
You just thought going into this one that Calgary was sort of ripe to sort of have the streak end, but like we mentioned, they've now won 17 of their last 18 matchups. That loss on November 1st, 14, they had locked up the playoffs. That was in the snow in Calgary that
Doing
game.
some resting some vets for the postseason.
Absolutely, especially on defense, and just can't seem to get over the hump when it comes to the Calgary Stampeders.
Had that amazing comeback last year in Calgary, only to have Paredes break their hearts with a 52-yarder at the end of that game. Messam again, and he stays in bounds to keep the clock running.
That's what good teams do.
Well, there's a guy on the Calgary sidelines that actually beat the Stampeders here in One of the more memorable games I thought we did. Ryan Dinwiddie came out of nowhere to light it up. I think over 400 yards in that game to post a victory.
And so long ago, he's gone from his playing days to his coaching career and on the other sideline, Calgary. But Levi Mitchell just continues to win games.
And they're just fueling the go train right now. Messam, another carry.
The 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro.
Timeout. Winnipeg.
2 ties in there, 17 wins.
And 6-0 in Manitoba. Messam again.
I mean, that is no joke. That is consistency at a level I don't think I've ever seen.
Well, it is unprecedented, and now an unbeaten streak of over a full Canadian Football League season. This, the 19th consecutive regular season game where Mitchell has not been defeated. Last loss was that opener in BC last year. Season opener on the road. They led into the fourth quarter and they lost by 2.
You know, this type of game too has allowed Rene Paredes to kind of get rid of his
Timeout.
issues.
Calgary.
Missed 1 field goal, but hit the converts, which were an issue when he was 3 for 6 to start the year.
But he hasn't had to make the big pressure kick to win a game since the issue started. I mean, you can go back that first Ottawa match, but
you know, Dave Dickinson candid that his team has not been tremendous out of the gate, but also realizing that it is an 18-game journey. He said, I don't want to be perfect in week 2 or 3. It's a slow build, and we've seen some progress here tonight. It didn't look like it for 30 minutes, but it's been an impressive second half.
Oh, he took control. The offense just took control, time of possession. That defense for Winnipeg got seriously tired.
And Paredes has a 30-yard field goal on the final play, and the beat goes on. The Stampeder domination here in Winnipeg continues. Time now for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the CFL.
When you play against Calgary, it's pick your poison. Markway McDaniel, Lamar Durant off to a good start. They got DeVaris Daniels back, but tonight was Kamar Jordan's night. 7 touches. He even had a rush on a fly sweep. 97 receiving yards, a couple of touchdowns. He now has 5 on the season. Levi Mitchell has a lot of weapons.
Mitchell was impressive. Malik Harris outstanding on defense. And now the Stampeders go to 6-0 at Investors Group Field. They've won 17 of their last 18 against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Stampeders 2-0-1. The Bombers 1-1. After a 29-10 victory, the Stamps shut out the Bombers in the second half. There's the slate tomorrow. Argos Ottawa. We'll have Hamilton in Saskatchewan. So long from Winnipeg. SportsCenter is now.